I've got the bond, those like you can't command on your hunt. Fight all black men and Indians out the 5th annual Fire Weekend.
Shalom, Israel. Come to the Fire Weekend, man. Chicago, Midwest Fire Weekend. You know how we get down. July 21st and 24th, we're going to be in Chicago.
Under the Midwest Ross himself, captain for 13,000
July 21st, we got 12 children behind you. The scripture breakdown class, followed by Captain Tadaria and Captain Katazal across the line ring.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Banshee Festival coming back. We got the election coming. We're going to kick off the election with Captain Ash, Captain Katazal, and Kazak Yad. It's going to be called Fort Columbus Camp.
On the 24th of July, we're going to be doing the Black and Brown Unity Cookout. Shalom, Israel, to all my blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. From July 21st through the 24th, we're going to be holding the Midwest Fire Weekend. On July 21st, we hold a scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by Cross the Line Radio. On July 22nd, we're going to be having camp on the Magnificent Mile from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And guess what? Commanding General Yohana will be speaking at 3 p.m. We're going to be located at 401 North Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. After that, we're going to have the Before Columbus Came lecture from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Located on 9909 Roosevelt Road, Suite 100. On July 23rd, you can catch us at the Bantu Festival from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to be located at 1130 Midway Place Science Park, Chicago, Illinois. And then last but not least, we're going to be having the Black and Brown Unity Cookout from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. located at Douglas Park, 1200 West 12th Place. For more information, call 708-299-5821. Again, 708-299-5821. Also, if you would like to help out and support this troop and brotherhood, go to the Midwest Fire Weekend Black and Brown GoFundMe account and make a generous donation.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Priest and Observer thousands of rock in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We start out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. Today is the biblical law class, man. You understand? Make sure before we go any further that you like, share, and subscribe. All right. To Flint Israelites and also Detroit Israelites. You understand? On Facebook and YouTube. All right, we're gonna get into a good heavy topic. Today we're gonna be talking about dietary laws and why it's important. You know what I mean? What is the point of dietary laws? Okay, we're gonna go into that real heavy today. All right. So before we begin, you got any questions or anything like that? Have any questions online? Just make sure you type them in. You know, I'll do my best to answer these questions. If not, you know, I'll definitely, you know, get a man greater than myself to be able to give you the answers next week or the following week, all right? So without further ado, we're gonna definitely go ahead and get into the topic. Let me check the feed first. Alright. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go into these dietary laws, right? And we're gonna go into it a little bit in depth today. All right, so you can understand that you just cannot eat anything. You just can't, you know what I'm saying, consider everything to be food. Okay. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the precepts and the scriptures. I got a few precepts on this. Okay. So the first scripture I definitely want to get into, we can start at the book of Deuteronomy, 14th chapter, verse 4. So here it is. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 4. It says, "These are the beasts which ye shall eat, the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamois." Okay, so let's get into that right there. These are some beasts right here. Let's get a name that's actually lawful. You may eat. These are things that you can eat. You know what I mean? And again, these laws right here only apply to the Israelites. Okay, these laws right here only apply to the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. These are our dietary laws. These are the things right here named here in Deuteronomy 14, in the 14th chapter. These things right here is actually lawful to eat. So again, I'm gonna say it again. You got the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck. So the hart, that right there is a kind of deer. It's a deer, basically. All right. It's just a kind of deer that you allowed to eat. You lawful to eat. And then you got the roebuck, which is another deer that's actually lawful to eat. It's like, let me put my phone on mute. A roebuck is also like a deer as well, and it's actually absolutely lawful to eat. And it says the wild goat and the pygarg. The pygarg is, it's like an addax. That's what type of animal it is. It's like an addax. It looks more so, it definitely looked like a deer. It got horns on it. It got like a curly horn on it though. You know what I'm saying? Like a horn with a curve to it. But it absolutely looked like a deer. It comes from the deer family. Okay? So all those animals definitely lawful to eat. You know what I mean? I'm also give you another list of good animals that you can eat. Okay? Every beast that parteth the hoof and cleaveth the cleft into two claws, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. So basically, every animal, you know what I'm saying, that parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud amongst the beasts, that ye shall, like, you can eat those type of animals. Alright? I'm actually going to give you a list of those animals right now. Let me pull it up real quick. Just to give, you know, pretty much a good listing on animals that you can eat. So again, a good list of clean animals that you can eat. You got the antelope, you got the cows, like cow family, which is like beef and things like that. You got deer, elk, gazelles, goats, moose, sheep, you know what I'm saying, water bucks, all those things that I just named, all those animals in those families, those things is actually lawful to eat. You know what I mean? Those things is much more better for you to eat. Okay? And the Lord is not going to destroy you for eating these type of animals right here. Because these is the ones that we can eat. Alright? Now, I'm going to also give you, you know what I mean, unclean animals which you shall not eat. We're going to go into that as well. Bear with me real quick. We're going to go into Leviticus, the 11th chapter. So this is right here in Leviticus. Let's start at 1. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth." Verse 3. "Whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud amongst the beasts that ye shall eat." All right, so basically all those animals I just named, you know, the gazelle, the cow family, deers, elks, you know, those animals is lawful to eat, okay, because they part in the hoof and they chew up the cud, okay. Now it says this right here, verse 4, "Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you." So the camel is one animal, you know what I mean, that's unclean to you. It's going to also name a number of other animals that is unclean to you. It says, "And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but not divideth the hoof. He is unclean to you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you. Or their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcasses shall ye not touch. They are unclean unto you. All right, so basically, all the animals that chew the cud and that's cloven-footed, those are the animals that you can eat. All right. So, what kind of beasts, you know what I'm saying, that you will know are bills? You have to know this first off. Any animal, you know what I mean, that chew up the cud, you know, and divide the hoof and is cloven-footed, those are the animals that's actually clean to eat. Okay? So again, I'm going to give you a list of animals that chew the cud and that's cloven-footed. All right, and here we have it. You got the antelope, got the cow family, the caribou, deer, elk, gazelles, goats, harts, moose, sheep, water bucks, yaks. Those are all animals, man, that chew up the cud, cloven-footed, you know what I mean? And they are, you know, they absolutely clean to eat. So that right there is a list of animals that you can eat. It's absolutely lawful to eat those. All right. Now we're going to go into certain animals. We're going to go into the animals that's unclean and animals that you should never eat, that is not lawful. You know what I mean? You should never touch. Okay? Let's go into the scriptures first. Let's get the scriptures on it. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud. It's like it. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof. All right. So, in order for it to be a clean animal and for you to eat, he has to chew the cud and he has to divide the hoof. You know what I mean? Dividing the hoof is like his feet. You know what I'm saying? You have to be cloven-footed. Okay? Those animals, you got to be cloven-footed, and on top of that, you have to chew the cud. Okay? Let's go into what it means to chew the cud. All right, so chew the cud is of a ruminant animal, further chew partly digested food. So then let me give you a better definition to really clear the air so you can help you understand. To chew the cud, when animals such as cows or sheep chew the cud, they slowly chew their partly digested food over and over again in their mouth before finally swallowing. All right, so that right there is a definition of chewing the cud. You know, they digesting their food. You know what I mean? They processing it the right and correct way. Okay. So that's basically what that is. And we're going to go back to the scriptures and we're going to get into it. Now it says, the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, meaning, you know what I'm saying, he cloven footed, you know, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean unto you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean unto you. Okay, so any animal, you can be cloven footed, but if you don't chew the cud, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna make you an unclean animal. Any animals that, you know, that don't chew the cud or that's not cloven footed is unclean unto you. Okay, we're gonna go down a list of animals that's absolutely unclean. And if these are the animals that you are consuming as an Israelite, you definitely want to stop. You want to stop eating these things, and you want to stop doing it because it's unlawful. Okay? Just did a statistic report, and it still shows that blacks and Hispanics, they still lead every race in high blood pressure and hypertension. And when they go to the doctor, the first thing the doctors ask you is, what are you eating? They want to know what your diet looking like because you have to make some life-changing things. First thing they're going to tell you is to stop eating pork. All right? And also they're going to check your family history of hypertension. And guess what? Black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we definitely have that in our family histories of hypertension because we was what? Fed. You can take it all the way back into slavery because we were fed these things in slavery. We was fed pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We was fed these bottom feeders on purpose. So our families and generations passed that pork, and they passed all those things down that was unclean unto us for us to eat and consider food. All right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull some things. I'm going to pull a list of foods that is absolutely unclean that you cannot consume, okay? Badgers. Badgers is unlawful. It's an unlawful animal to eat. Badgers is like a honey badger. It looks more so like a skunk. It's very vicious animal, very small vicious animal. Definitely unclean to eat. Bears. Bears is an unclean animal, okay? Not allowed to eat bears, all right? Camels, absolutely unlawful to eat. Definitely cannot eat camels. Cats, lions, tigers, leopards, dogs, coyotes, foxes, wolves. None of those things is edible, okay? None of those animals I just named you can eat. Those are unlawful to eat. Donkeys, unlawful. Elephants, unlawful to eat. Gorillas, unlawful to eat. Horses and zebras, absolutely unlawful. Kangaroos, unlawful to eat. Llamas, any animal in the llama family and the llama family, you can absolutely not eat. All right, a llama look like a camel. Okay, definitely can't eat that. Mice and rats, unlawful to eat. Monkeys, unlawful to eat. Opossums, you understand? Those things is absolutely unlawful to eat. These animals that I'm naming is not good for food. You understand? If you ever had to taste any of those things, you should stop. You should stop eating those things because it's absolutely unlawful. It's against the Lord and it's against your own health. Okay? More importantly, you will want to stop eating these things because the Lord said so. The Lord, man, didn't offer these things for us to eat. The Lord said these things right here is unclean unto you. Pigs and swine and rabbits, skunks, slugs, squirrels, and worms. You understand? Like all those animals right there, you cannot eat. Those animals is absolutely unlawful. It's against the Most High. You understand? And you should think about the animals that's actually lawful to eat. Okay? And again, we just gave you a good listing of animals that you absolutely can eat. And that's very good. It tastes good too. Cows, antelopes, deers, you understand, gazelles, goats, harts. Harts are deers as well, okay? Moose, sheeps, those things right there is lawful to eat. Absolutely lawful, okay? Lamb also is lawful as well. You can eat lamb, okay? So most definitely, man, you definitely want to take hold and understand what's the difference between a lawful animal and an unlawful animal. Okay, the differences is this. The lawful animals, they chew the cud, and also they're cloven-footed. All right? So their digestive system is very good. And definitely, you know what I mean, you can definitely eat those foods. What makes an animal unlawful, unclean to eat, is them not chewing the cud and them also not being cloven-footed. Okay? So it can't be one-sided. Like if you chew the cud but you're not cloven-footed, you're an unlawful animal to eat. See what I'm saying? Or if you don't chew the cud but you're cloven-footed, like a pig, it's definitely absolutely unlawful to eat. You gotta have both of those things. You gotta chew the cud and you have to be cloven-footed. You gotta divide the hoof. That's what it's talking about in the scriptures. You go through a list of animals that chew the cud and divide the hoof. And those animals you will see that I just named. All right? So you just want to take a good look and a good listen of that. And you want to also understand these things. So the next time you go to, a restaurant, man, you won't be trying to get no pork. You won't be trying to get no pork chops. You know what I mean? Some unlawful nonsense food. Or you don't want to try to be so exotic. You don't want to try to be so exotic trying to eat lion meat or bear meat. You know what I mean? Because those things are unlawful. It's not lawful to eat a bear. It's not lawful to eat, you know what I mean, skunks or anything like that. Or possums. You know, people down south, that was their thing. Like my grandmother and my grandfather, they said they had possum meat before. You know what I mean? Not understanding, the laws in the Bible, the dietary law is absolutely against eating, you know what I mean? It's absolutely against eating possums. Okay? You want to try something exotic? Go get some good gazelle meat. You know what I mean? Go get some good addicts meat. Go try some of that. Go try some ox. Go get some oxtail. You know what I mean? That right there be some good meat to eat. And what you do not want to eat is anything that's unlawful and against the Most High. Okay? Because our captivity, because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, they look at these animals as delicacies. Main thing right now they looking at as a delicacy that's on the market is pork. They put pork in everything almost, and they do it on purpose. Okay? Your enemies, they do these things on purpose. I'm going to go ahead and show you a scripture to help you understand and define why do they do these things. Why would they even, advertise pork? Why would they advertise pork to be some type of delicacy to eat? Okay? Meanwhile, your doctor is telling you you should stop eating pork. You know what I'm saying? You should change your diet. But for better terms, they'll say you might want to stop eating red meat. That's what they'll say. Okay? But here's the thing, man. because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Again, he put pork in everything. He put pork in your toothpaste, put pork in your candy, he put pork, you know, and things that you just wouldn't believe pork goes in. Alright, it's just very unnecessary. So we're going to get the scripture. And it says this in Jude 5:20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. Now this right here was a council with heathens before going to war with the Israelites. This is, you know, in a time when we were at war, okay, physical warfare. And this is what you should understand and know that these other nations know about you. When I say other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you know what I mean? Other races, they know about you. They know about your history. So that's why he said right here in Jude 5:20, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, there be any error against this people, meaning what? They sin against their Lord. You know what I mean? And it says this, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up and we shall overcome them. So heathens understand, you know, if they can get us to sin against the Lord, they'll always be victorious and on top of us. That's why they put all the pork, man, in your toothpaste. They put lard all in your food. They putting pork all in unnecessary objects that, you know, that's edible. Like, they do these things on purpose in this wicked kingdom called America. They do these things on purpose so you will always be a sinner to the Lord. You'll always be disgusting. And also, they know that right there is your kryptonite. Once you sin against the Most High, that's their time to shine and be over you. They can be eligible to do anything they want to you because you're sinning against the Lord. All right.
Yeah, what's your shit back? Today, sir. I'm not sure it's right now. Yep.
So yeah, this is what these other nations understand and know about you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They understand that if they can get you to, you know, sin against the Lord, man, they are going to be over you forever. Now, what you have to do, you got to be smart, man, because this life is about warfare. You want to be smart by not sinning against the Lord. You want to train your mind to fight against, you know what I'm saying, demons and sinning against the Most High and just being disciplined. It's going to take a lot of discipline and a lot of, you know, a militant mindset to go to war with your demons. Go to war with this place, man. That's what you need to do. And the first thing you need to understand is there's a dietary law in the Bible. There's things that you can eat and there's things that you cannot eat. All right? In America, it looks like everything is food. It looks like everything is good to take in, man. You understand? And it absolutely is not. Okay? You can't just eat anything you want to. You can't just put anything down your digestive system, man, according to God. You can't. I know it may seem like it's small and minuscule, but it's absolutely not small at all. Like eating pork, man, is dangerous if you're an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? You got pork in your veins, you got pork in your digestive system. The Lord, man, will destroy you for that. Okay? So these are things that you have to understand, man. You got to understand first, these heathens done this on purpose. These heathens advertise these things and make it seem as though they are delicacies and it's cool to do. But it's absolutely not cool to do. It is not cool, man, to be a filthy, disgusting sinner, man. All right? And that's what America strives to do. If you're a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, America strives to feed and lust, you know what I'm saying, feed and blood suck the thirst out of you, man, and make you just a sinner to the Lord, man. Make you some lustful bastard to the Most High. So you know what you got to do, man. You got to fight those demons. You got to fight living in this disgusting place and pray for our King Yahushua to quickly return, man. All right. So that right there is some insight on how these heathens, man, they understand your laws. They understand where you come from, man. And they also understand how to destroy you so they can stay on top. They'll do anything they can to make you sin against your Lord. They'll put birthdays, holidays, advertise a bunch of things that everybody's into, it seems like, and just make you fall susceptible to sin and make you fall susceptible and be a victim of America. You know what I mean? When it's time for you to get out of that, man. The scriptures say, man, it's time to wake up out of that sleep. It's high time to wake up out of that sleep and out of that slumber, man, and see what the hell is going on. And when the first thing you need to know what's going on, man, is what the hell are we eating as Israelites? What are we putting in our bodies? All right? Are we putting the, you know what I'm saying, the breath of life down in us, or are we killing ourselves, you know, with the traditions of America and the traditions of men? All right? So let's go ahead, let's keep going. Let's get some more things. Let's go back to Leviticus, the 11th chapter. And let's go to, let's see. Now let's go to the waters. Meaning what? Let's go to what's in the water that you actually can eat. First, I want to start with the things you absolutely cannot eat. You know what I'm saying? That comes out of the water. Okay? Let's start right there. And we're going to go to Leviticus 11 and 12. And it says, whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And now, let's go over there right there. I'm gonna read it again. It says, whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Okay? Any animals that's underwater that has no fins and scales, it's going to be very abominable unto you. And I'm going to give you a list of animals that don't have, you know what I'm saying, fins and scales. Okay? We're going to get into that. Yep, I'm about to get you all the list of animals that have no fins nor have any scales. I'm going to pull that right now. So let's go ahead and start. This is a list of unclean animals, no fins, no scales. These animals right here that's underwater, you know, if this is on this list and this is something you used to and you say you was raised off this, I hear a lot of people say, well, I was raised off pork, man. So just because you were raised off something, that don't necessarily mean that it was correct. Okay? It was a big error. It was a big mistake. You understand? And it's time for you to grow up, and it's time for you to absolutely stop eating these things. We're going to go ahead and start with this list. This is a list of unclean animals according to the Bible. Catfish. All right, I know black people, I know y'all love the catfish. You understand? Before I had any understanding about this truth right here, I used to love me some catfish. Catfish was like a big delicacy. You know what I mean? Especially in my family. My uncle used to have fish fries and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Catfish was always on the menu. So catfish is unlawful. It's unclean, man. You understand? Catfish is absolutely unlawful. It's unclean. It's a bottom feeder. and you should never eat this ever again, man. And this is according to the Bible. Catfish, crabs. You know, for you sisters out there that love those crab legs and them crab boils. You brothers and sisters out there that love them crab legs and crab boils. Crabs is absolutely unlawful to eat according to the Bible. According to the Lord, man, if you are a so-called Negro, a so-called Hispanic, you know what I'm saying, a so-called First Nations people, guess what? You're not allowed to eat crabs. You're not allowed to eat those crab boils and crab legs. I know it may seem like it's a big, huge delicacy unto you, man, but it's absolutely unlawful. It's absolutely against the scriptures. You understand? And you should never ever eat these water feed. You know, that seafood should never touch this ever again. All right? For you seafood eaters, man, that just love the seafood, you can't stay away from it. You better start staying away from this, man. This right here is going to get you cancer. These things, these animals right here, these fishes, cause you a lot of diseases, man. Hypertension, you know what I mean? Diabetes, those things. You know, if you're wondering why you always feel you getting a stomach ache after you eat crab legs, this is the reason why. You're getting those stomach aches and you feeling those nauseous pains all in your stomach is because it's unlawful. You shouldn't have been eating it in the first place. These things is not lawful unto the Lord, man, for you to eat. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, stop eating crab legs. Crawfish, stop eating crawfish. Crawfish is unlawful according to the Bible. You understand? It's absolutely against the Lord. And guess what? It's going to tear your insides up once you do eat those things and you die. It's hard to digest and all that. It's going to be sitting in your stomach. Those things is absolutely unlawful against the Lord. Dolphins. You cannot eat dolphin. Okay? Eels. You cannot eat eels. Lobsters. I know y'all lobster lovers, man, that love getting that lobster. And you thinking it's so much of a delicacy. Again, your oppressor fooled you into believing. American traditions are how you believe in lobster is something real good to eat. You know what I'm saying? Lobster is a successful meal. Lobster is absolutely unlawful and it's disgusting and it's against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The proper way to eat lobster, the proper way to mess with lobster is throwing it away, never touching it. You know what I'm saying? Leaving it in the sea where it belongs, man. You understand? Moving on. Another thing, marlins, otters, porpoises, seals, sharks, shellfish like clams and mollusks and mussels. Those things is unlawful to eat. Oysters, absolutely unlawful to eat. Okay? Scallops, unlawful to eat. Shrimp, absolutely unlawful to eat. Okay? Snails, unlawful to eat. Squids, unlawful to eat. You brothers and sisters out there that like that squid, you should stop eating that. Okay? It's absolutely unlawful unto the Lord. You understand? In the scriptures say, man, anything that doesn't have fins and scales, this is unlawful for you to eat. These are a list of animals that don't have fins and scales. Okay? They're absolutely unlawful to eat, man. You should never eat these things. And the number one reason why you should never eat it is because the Lord said not to do it. Let's get that established right there, that the Lord said that these things is unlawful for you to eat. All right, let's establish that first. Furthermore, your doctor is going to tell you that these things is not good for you to eat. And your doctor will warn you as an Israelite to stay away from certain things. They're going to tell you to stay away from these things, these delicacies. Okay? Whales, unlawful. Swordfish, unlawful. Sturgeon, unlawful. Okay, all those water animals I just named is absolutely unlawful to eat, man. Okay? Now, we can actually get in. Now that I got that finally out the way, I'm showing you that, water animals without fins and without scales, they absolutely unlawful to eat. They actually, now in the Bible, they got animals that you can eat, water animals that you can eat. We're going to go in and get into the scriptures. We're going to get in the scriptures on it. Now, it says this, Leviticus 11:9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Now, we already went down the list of animals that didn't have the fins and scales. Your shrimps, your crabs, your lobsters, your squids, you understand, your catfish, all the little delicacies they say that's cool to eat, tuna, unlawful to eat, absolutely unlawful to eat. They say they got, minuscule scales, but it is absolutely unlawful, man, because it's definitely in the inside of a tuna fish. Okay, now I get more details and more into deeper depth in that, another time when I get more founded with it. But we're gonna go into, the fishes that actually have fins and scales, and that's absolutely lawful to eat. All right, let me get you a good list of some fish that you can absolutely eat and is lawful. Let's start with the snappers. You can eat all type of snapper fish you can eat. Black snapper, you know what I mean? Black fin snapper. Okay, bluefish, Caribbean red snapper, which is one of my favorites. I love red snapper. You understand? Q-bird snapper, gray snapper, grunt, lane snapper. You know what I'm saying? Sheep shed, red snapper, silk snapper, white snapper, yellowtail snapper, glass eye snapper, dog snapper. All those snapper fishes is absolutely lawful to eat. The reason being, it being lawful to eat because it has fins and scales. So you can absolutely enjoy, snapper fish. Okay? Another fish, perch. Atlantic perch, black perch, breams, lake perch, pike perch, rockfish, sun perch, surf perch, walleye pike. You know what I'm saying? All those is lawful. You definitely can eat perch, man, because it's lawful, because it has fins and scales. Another fish that have fins and scales is cod. You can eat Atlantic cod, haddock, hake, Pacific cod, pollock, whiting, walleye pollock. You understand? Like those fish, you absolutely can eat. Okay? According to the Bible, according to the scripture, if you want to be in line with the Most High, you understand, and you loving these things, these are the fish that you're going to desire to eat. You can eat bass. You can eat Alaska blackfish, big mouth bass, blackfish, bowfish, crappie, croaker, drum, grouper. You understand? Sea bass, silver bass, sunfish, white sea bass, strip bass, red eye bass, white perch, yellow perch. You understand? Smallmouth bass. You can eat all of those fishes because it has fins and scales. You talking about seafood, you want to eat the correct seafood. You don't want to be eating no shrimp. You don't want to be eating no crab, no lobster, no catfish. You understand? No eels. You don't want to eat nothing like that. Listen, you're not a Moabite, okay? You're not Moab. You're not the so-called Japanese and Chinese. All right, they eat all of those abominable fishes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing. We, as Israelites, we can never do that. We can never eat those type of fishes. That right there is absolutely unlawful. All right. That was pretty good with the fish. Okay. You just gotta understand, man. It's absolutely lawful to eat seafood. Absolutely lawful to eat seafood. But you just gotta know what's food and what's absolutely not food. You gotta know that crawfish is not food. That's not seafood. You know what I'm saying? Shrimps, that's not seafood. Crabs, them crab legs that they sell out here in America, that's not seafood, man. That's not considered food unto the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. That right there, we are against that. All right, we don't eat that. We would never condone eating those things because it's against our power, it's against the Lord. And the Lord say not to do it. The Lord say, man, we should not eat no fish that has no skins and no fins and no scales. Why? Because it's unclean unto us. It's unclean to us because those fishes are bottom feeders. You understand? They go and they have a duty to do. They go and clean the ocean. They clean the waste that's in the undersea, under the water, man. They clean all of those wastes. All right? So you don't want to eat those things. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay. It says this right here in the scripture. Leviticus 11:10, and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. It's going to be abominable unto you, man. If you eating, seafood that don't have fins or scales, that right there is unclean and is abominable, is an abomination unto you. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. That is very abominable. All right. Verse 11, they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses an abomination. Verse 12, whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. That comes out of the Bible. People just be thinking, they say silly things like, we Muslim. No, we not Muslim. Okay? Because we're not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. That don't make us Muslim. We find these things literally in the King James Version Bible. This comes out of here. It's not a Muslim book. You see, this don't say the Quran. This come out of the Bible, man. The Bible say you're not allowed to eat pork. Bible say, man, swine is unclean unto you. You understand? Because, cloven the foot, but yet it don't chew the cud. It tells you why. It tells you right strictly in the Bible. Okay? So just understand the things and the reasons why we don't eat these things is because it's just against the Lord. It's against our constitution. It's against our rules, man. It's against what the Lord gave us. Okay? Which was instructions and rules and laws to follow. It's against the dietary law. Okay. Let's get more. Whatsoever have no fins, Leviticus 11:12. Whatsoever have no fins, nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Verse 13. And these are they which shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination, the eagle and the ostrich, the ossifrage, and the osprey. Verse 14, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind. Verse 17, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl. Verse 18, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gear eagle, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. Verse 20, all the fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. So let me bag up some, right? Let's bag this up some. Let's bag this all the way up some. So this right here is talking, now we're getting into the fowls of the air. Okay, so basically when I was just reading those scriptures about the fowls of the air is birds. You know, when it's talking about fowls in the air in the scripture, these is talking about specific birds that you're allowed to eat and birds that you're not allowed to eat. What we're going over first right now is the birds that you cannot eat. Okay, and it tells you why. It says this in Leviticus 11 and 20, all fowls that is creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. All right, so all fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. I'm gonna name some birds, you know what I mean, that goes on all four. That's just an abomination. All right, we're gonna go down through that list right now. All right. So this right here is a list of birds that is absolutely unclean that goes on all four that creepeth upon the earth, right? Hold on. Before I get that list. All the fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. Here they go. Condors, cormorants, cranes, crows. Crows is unlawful. Eagles, unlawful. Falcons, unlawful. Hawks, unlawful. Herons, unlawful. Kites, magpies, ospreys, ostriches, owls, parrots, pelicans, penguins, ravens, roadrunners, seagulls, storks, vultures, and woodpeckers. All right, all of those things, all those birds I just named, unlawful to eat. Those birds that I just named, none of those birds can ever be considered food. They're all disgusting, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to looking at them as being an edible object. Okay, as far as with birds, I don't think, you know, these things is really sold or, you know what I'm saying, like that, or pretty much advertised for food, like eagles, falcons, hawks, you know, ostriches, owls, parrots, pelicans. Not really, you know, put out there as delicacies. The main things, again, that's put out there as delicacies, like pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, you understand, crawfish, oysters, things like that. They get looked at as delicacies. They sell them at a high price in restaurants to make it seem as though they, you know, it's some special thing to get, when it's absolutely not. Okay? So we're going to definitely get more in the scripture. It says this right here, right? It says in Leviticus 11 and 21, yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet to leap with awe upon the earth. Verse 22, even these of them ye may eat. Okay, all right, so these are the things right here you can eat. You know what I mean? As far as fowls of the air, okay? It says something specific right here in the scripture. It says, these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet. All right, that right there is specific. They gotta have legs above their feet to leap with awe upon the earth. That right there is pretty specific. All right, well, I'm gonna get you a list of birds, you know what I'm saying, that have legs above their feet. Okay, so let me go ahead and get you the list right now. The list of clean birds would be this: chickens, doves, you understand, geese. It's like chicken, doves, turkeys, pigeons, lawful to eat, songbirds, turkeys. Okay, like those things right there is lawful, absolutely lawful to eat according to the Bible. Those are birds, fowls of the air, absolutely lawful to eat. Favorite bird that, you know, we tend to get is chicken. We love chicken, man. We love turkey. You understand? Those turkey legs, man, just be so good and delicious. Ooh wee. I have yet to try pigeon, but that is lawful. Pigeon is lawful. Okay, quails, lawful. Songbirds, lawful. Turkey, lawful. Okay, doves, lawful. Absolutely lawful to eat. Haven't tried it, but you know, Lord willing, one day as I live, man, I'll be able to try those things. All right. Now let's get insects. Cause guess what? In the Bible, you actually have some insects that's absolutely lawful to eat. We're gonna go ahead and go into that. Yes, even insects. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. It says this. We're gonna start at Leviticus 11 and 22. Even these of them ye may eat: the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. All right. So again, it just said it right there in the scriptures. Give you just a list of insects that is absolutely lawful to eat. Okay, just like it said, locusts, crickets. Locusts is, you can eat locusts. You understand? Say if we was in the woods and you know, being out there in the woods, you know, you ain't got food like that, you can eat locusts. That's lawful to eat. You can eat crickets. You understand? That right there is lawful to eat. Grasshoppers, lawful to eat. Beetles, you can eat a beetle. You understand? Those things right there is absolutely lawful according to the Bible. Okay? Again, to give you another review and an understanding is this right here. The Lord set out those dietary laws, man, for us to follow. You know what I'm saying? Because he put that out there because we made that covenant to the Lord. You understand? The 12 tribes of Israel made that covenant. with the Most High, man. And that's how we was able to get these laws and have it established. What we need to do in today's time is take upon these laws again. Take full advantage of these laws, because in America, man, these laws was forgotten about. Our ancestors didn't have the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to keep following the laws of the Lord, because, you know, it just wasn't known. It was forgotten about because of slavery, because the oppressor, man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, sought out to erase our heritage, man. You understand? Like, these things are so true. Let's go into the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17. We're going to go into the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4, and it tells you. It says, "And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land with which thou knowest not." You understand? And that's exactly what the conditions blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is facing right now. Facing the fact that we have discontinued our heritage. Our forefathers discontinued their heritage, man. You understand? They didn't know the Lord. So therefore, they act out any type of way. They act out very lawlessly because they didn't have no laws to abide by. You had to follow the oppressor laws and go by his rules and his statutes and his regulations. You understand? And we absolutely forgotten about our God. Now in today's time, the Lord put the priests and the prophets back here on the earth in the ISUPK, so you can come back to the laws, man. You can come back to your power. You can come back to the Lord, man. You understand? This right here is a very important class, because now you understand what to be considered as food and what not to be considered as food now. Now you have a full, complete understanding that, look, listen, man, I can't eat no pork. So when I do go into this restaurant, man, I am not about to be getting none of this pork stuff they got. I'm not getting no pork chops and none of that. I'm not about to go in here in this pizza place with no pepperoni pizza, man. I'm not messing with no pork pepperonis. You understand? Like, certain things, that's what you got to do. That's exactly what we have to do, man, as the children of Israel. You understand? Make sure you get into class. Make sure you come in, man. Make sure you're paying your tithes. We got the Midwest Fire Weekend coming up. We 1 week almost. We like 1 week and a quarter out, man. We 1 week and a quarter out from the Midwest Fire Weekend, which is July 21st through the 24th. Asking all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come and join us, man. This movement that we're doing, man, for the Lord. So our King Yahweh can return, man. Alright, and with that being said, priest and officer of thousands of Rock and Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York. Shalom.